the Foamtail Reaper.
Load a bobbin with red Vivus thread. Then grab a Duets hook in a size 2. Then smash the barb with flat-jawed pliers. Now grab a large dumbbell eye. Put your hook in your vise and start your thread right behind the eye. Wrap up over the bend in the hook. Then go ahead and cut the tag end of thread free. Bring your thread back to the crease. Grab the dumbbell eye and place it on top of the now inverted hook right in that crease, and start taking figure 8 wraps to secure the dumbbell eyes. Around one end of the fly, under the hook shank, and then around the other. Then take thread wraps under the dumbbell eyes, but over the hook shank to secure those thread wraps. Jump your thread to behind the dumbbell eyes, and then place some Sally Hansen's on top of those thread wraps to firmly secure the eyes. Now grab a glass rattle. Build up an area of thread in between the point of the hook and the dumbbell eyes. Then on that section, place the rattle. At first, don't put mass tension on your thread, as it may spin the rattle around the hook shank. Then take thread wraps under the rattle but above the hook shank to secure those wraps, just like the dumbbell eyes. Then I also like to place some Sally Hansen's on this rattle to keep it from spinning around the hook in the future of the tying process. Then go to your Magnum Rabbit strip zonker. With the hide spot facing up, measure a section that's about a hook shank in length. Then with that measurement, cut it free from the rest of the zonker strip. Now cut a foam square that's a width by width section of the hide part on the zonker strip. Put a little drop of super glue right at the tip of the hide, with all the hairs facing left. Then push that piece of foam right on that piece of hide to set the glue, making sure you don't get any glue on your fingers like I did here. Now, jump your thread to behind the rattle. Then with the hide spot facing up, tie the zonker strip right behind the glass rattle. Make sure it's secure and it doesn't fly around the hook shank, and make sure that it floats parallel with the ground. No section of hide is going around the hook in an abnormal fashion. Now go to Polar Chenille in red. Pull out a section and separate the tip from the rest of the fibers. Then go ahead and tie that tip on your fly, making sure that it starts right where the zonker strip starts. Then jump your thread to behind the dumbbell eyes and start taking palmerine wraps of Polar Chenille, making sure to push the fibers back as you palmer the chenille up. Make a ramp up to the glass eye until you get over it. It's okay if a little bit of glass is showing. The bass don't seem to care. Once you're on top of the dumbbell eye, the glass rattle, it's much easier to go on. Keep taking continuous wraps up to where the glass rattle ends. No need to make a ramp down, as it's sort of hard. So just jump the wraps right in front of the glass rattle and continue your wraps up until you reach the back of the dumbbell eyes. Make sure to push each fiber back, as this technique will help create a nice, bulky body and large profile in the water. Then when you reach the back of the dumbbell eyes, go ahead and secure the chenille with your thread, and then go ahead and cut the rest of the chenille off. Then kind of brush it out to relieve any of the stuck fibers. Then go to your rubber legs, select an untouched clump. With that clump, take one of the connected ends and place it on top of your fly, with the little solid section facing out over the eye of the hook, and tie that down right on top. Then fold the other section over, making the two connectors align. Lightly wrap that, and then cut those two sections in half. Then slightly unwrap the first half and bring that over. Invert your hook and your vise, and tie that now on the top of the fly, making sure the two connector tips are aligned. Kind of splay both of the rubber legs out so they don't get stuck on the point or the bend of the hook. Then go ahead and secure those two sections firmly, right behind the dumbbell eyes. Once the two sections of the rubber legs are good and secure, pull up one of the connected ends and cut it off, square, and then do the same with the other. Now build up a nice smooth dumbbell eyes, dumbbell head, trying to cover all the remaining rubber leg butts. This is not absolutely necessary, it just makes the fly look nicer. You can even cover up the exposed thread wraps with dubbing if you'd like, or even colored UV glue. After that, go ahead and jump your thread to in front of the dumbbell eyes and whip finish your thread on the indented part of the hook, right behind the eye. Then go ahead and cut your thread off. Kind of brush out the rubber legs so they sit right on the fly. And then coat the head in Sally Hansen so it doesn't get destroyed. And that's the fly.